Hey you guys, I'm back. I wanted to do a different video today because I was actually talking to Freckle Purple and we're actually watching the same show. So I told her to start watching Love at First Sight on Netflix. So we've been talking about that and yeah, so actually I wanted to do I guess a story time. I've never done one of these before. Um, but yeah, I was just actually laying in the bed, and I guess I'm gonna try to do a story. I never done one before, so I'm gonna try to just see how this go. I might post it or I might not. I don't know. And also, I guess when I do videos a lot, when I go back and watch them, I miss. I say so many things wrong, and I guess because I'm always trying to hurry up and record because I got to get back to the kids or I'm doing something. So I don't know. Like, I'm like, why did I say that? Or I said that wrong. Or I'll read something and it won't even say that. I don't know. But anyway, so the story time is going to actually be about how I met my fiance. So, um, so yeah, so pretty much I was living in Las Vegas with my family and my parents and everything. And my mom and my dad, they were having issues, and my mom was, decided that she wanted to move. And she wanted to get away. And we had this was in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. I think July of 2007. But yeah, my mom was like, she wanted to move, she wanted a fresh start. Her and my dad wasn't, pretty much getting along. So we had family that lived in Atlanta. We never been to Atlanta. Our family that was out here in Atlanta, they had like freshly moved to Georgia probably a few years. So we never been, to Georgia. So my mom was saying we were going to move with them. And I was like, I never thought my mom would move to Georgia. Like, we're from LA. LA to Vegas is only 4 hours. So I would have thought if anything, we would have went back to LA. But she kept saying, oh, we're going to leave. We're going to, go back to, we're going to move to Georgia. So I didn't think that we was, but my mom, she was right. So we all got Greyhound tickets. And I still thought like, oh my gosh, she got these Greyhound tickets. We're not going nowhere. Like, this was a waste of money. This is what I'm thinking. But we got on a Greyhound for 3 days with my mom. I have two sisters and I have two brothers, and I'm the oldest. And we was on a bus for 3 days and we went to Atlanta. Okay. So we were there. I think that, like I said, I think that was in July. And we were staying with family, and I didn't work there. I didn't have any friends there. I just knew, the family that I had, there. So I had a phone, and I remember like when online dating was like, really, really new. I had like I don't know what it was. I know it was called Lifestylers. That's what it was called. But anyway, I got on that, and I just started like, talking to different people on there, and like different guys. And mind you guys, I've never really did like online dating or none of that. Now, when I lived in Vegas before we moved to Georgia, me and my best friend, we we was I would we would always, well, she would, but I was with her. But meet guys on there and stuff like that, but I've never done it by myself. When I did, it was pretty much to go with my friend when she would meet guys, or you know all like, just different things like that. But I've never done it, by myself. So I was just pretty much on there just talking to, different guys or whatever. And yeah, so then a few of them that, seemed like they were okay, like I would give them my phone number and we would like text. So one of the guys was, my fiance now. But anyway, when he would text me, because everyone wasn't in Georgia, but he was actually in Georgia. And we started talking, and he wanted me to come see him. And I knew ain't no way I'm going to see this guy because um like I was staying with family. I didn't know my way around. I didn't have a car. And also my parents were strict. Okay. My mom was, even though my dad wasn't there, because we left, but my like no, that I knew that wasn't, even though I was over 18, but my parent, like, it's that's another story. But I knew it was no way I could go see him. Like, how? You're not just gonna come here, and I don't know you, and I didn't have my girl, my best friend with me, my sidekick, she wasn't here, so we can get away and go see him. So I knew it was no way I could go see him. And plus, my mother started talking back to my dad, and they were going to work out their marriage. So, um, she was going to move back to Las Vegas. So I think I started talking to my fiance, I think in November. I think it was in November when I started talking to him on the little, chat line. So actually, New Year's is when we moved back to Vegas. So once I moved back to Vegas, me and him, we didn't talk or anything. Probably for about a month or a few weeks. I'm not sure. But I don't know why, but one day I ended up texting him, and we were talking every day, texting every single day. And so I don't know, but I was like, okay, we were talking every day. Now I do like this guy. So I was like, so I told my mom that in the summer I was going to go back and visit my family that we were living with. I was really going back to see him. I was really going back to see him. But like I said, me and my mom, we didn't have the best relationship. So I didn't, of course, tell her that. So of course she was fine with me going back to see my family. So I told her I was going back to see my family. But when it was closer time for me to catch my flight, I actually told her that I met a guy out there, and I wanted to see him while I was there. I let her know because like, I mean, we were talking over the phone for months or whatever, but it's still crazy people out there. So she was like, a guy, like, where do you know him from? How do you meet him? You don't know nobody out there. So I did lie. I lied to her, and I told her I met him while we were at the mall out there. You guys, that was not true. But like I said, me and my mother, we didn't have the best relationship. So I didn't tell, because if I told her I met him online, it was no, even though, like I said, I was over 18, but me and her relationship is just kind of hard to explain. So even if I would have told her I met him online, it wouldn't have worked out. So, and that's another thing. That's what, well, I'm not even going to get into that. So anyway, I flew out there and I stayed the night, with my family. They came and got me. And, the next day, um, he came and got me, and I told my family that I was living with out there, like, a guy, that I met, he's going to come get me, and I'm going to stay with, I'm going to, this is so crazy that I think about that I did this, but I told him, like, it was, a guy I met, he's going to come get me, and I'm going to stay the night at his house, at his house. Oh my goodness, this is so crazy now that I think about it, because, um, now my family that I lived with, that I stayed with out there, they was like okay with it because they always knew I was a good girl. I didn't get into things. And I really didn't have that much freedom. So it was like, oh, okay, go ahead, And when he came, he met my aunt that was, whose house I was at. She thought he was a really nice guy. So they even told my mom, because of course my mom haven't seen him or met him because she was in Vegas and I didn't see him when we were all living here. So my aunt like told my mom, like, oh, he seemed like a really, a really good guy. So I left with him and we went to the movies. I remember we seen Hancock. I think that's the movie with Will Smith. We watched that movie, and then my mom, she was just constantly calling me, you guys, calling me, texting me. Why am I with this guy? Why am I staying at his house? It was so it was so crazy. So crazy. And oh my goodness. Okay, so he actually stayed um he actually stayed like an hour and a half away from my aunt. So I didn't go back to his. I'm telling the full story, you guys. I'm telling you guys everything, everything. So I actually did. I told my mom and I told my aunt that we were going to his house, because it sounded better than saying we're going to a hotel, you know. But we got a hotel because he stayed so far away, and I was only going to be able to see him for a day because he had to go back to work the following day. Um, so that's why we just got a hotel, you know, closer to my aunt's house, you know, so we could spend some time together. We went to the movies, and we went out to eat, you know, and just pretty much got to know each other instead of talking over the phone. So, my mom was constantly calling me. She was having family members in LA to call me. You guys, it was awful. Okay. Which I understand because it's like, you know, my daughter where she at, she's in a whole nother state with another guy, you know. So anyway, yeah, so the following day he was actually bringing me back to my aunt house because, you know, he has to go to work. He worked at night. Same job. He still has the same job, you guys. And yeah, so I remember when we was in the car and I was just thinking like, oh my goodness, now I'm gonna have to deal with my mom when I, you know, go back home. So I remember he told me, he was like, don't ever do this with no other person, you know, don't ever meet nobody online and go see them, and which I've never have, you know. Now, like I said, me and my bestie, my best friend, we used to do that stuff in Vegas, you know, but it was me and her, and we never flew somewhere to see a guy, you know, never stayed the night with it, none of that, you know. So the whole thing with me flying, which I stayed with my aunt, you know, but yeah, but he was like, don't ever do this again. And I never did, you know. So anyway, that happened. Eventually, you know, I went back home with my mom, and yeah, like I said, that was in June, and yeah, I dealt with that situation. And then I actually came back to Georgia. Now I didn't have to lie to my mom about where I was going. So in December, I came back to Georgia, and I spent Christmas with him. And pretty much for the next 2 years, I was just flying out here to visit him. And I knew that eventually it would be a move that I was going to do. So for the next 2 years, I would just fly back every few months and visit him. And then I was saving my money, you know, because, you know, everyone always have these great plans, but, you know, sometimes things change when you move with people, you don't know. So I always wanted to be able to, you know, have my own, you know, just in case. But so pretty much in 2011 is when I made my move. I got my car. I had a car when it was in Vegas. I paid for my car to get here, and yeah, that was in 2011. You guys know it's 2020. Today is the 4th of July, which we don't celebrate the 4th of July. So everyone who told me, I hope I was not sounding rude when I was telling you guys, we don't celebrate the 4th of July no more. We celebrate Juneteenth. So yeah, just to put that out there, because I know some people was telling me that. But yeah, back to the story. So pretty much, yeah, I moved here in 2011, and it's 2020, and I'm still here. We're still kicking strong. We have 2 kids now. We just got engaged on Christmas of 2019. And yeah, I don't think I left anything out. Um I don't think I did. But yeah, that's pretty much my story time. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, just leave them down below. And I don't know if I'm gonna post it. I think I am because it's just my truth and I was young and I mean it, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. If you guys sat through this and listened to this, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.